Before we start this video,
we just want to thank everybody for all the kind words and all the nice comments. And we realize that a lot of people out there had the same type of problems with accidents. So once again, we just wanted to thank everybody for all the beautiful words and the encouragement.
we were super touched by all the outpouring. And in case you haven't caught the first video, I am linking it below. Hey guys.
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
Part 2 of Bob wrecked our home and steps were taken to get it fixed.
Now that it's been 4 days and my mind has been a little better, I wanted to give you the positive side of a negative thing. The positive side is the damage was the one jack leg and the mount, but the jack leg is fine. The LCI jack leg is fine, even though they are going to replace it.
It's fine for now for holding us, but it needs to be replaced.
The mount needs to be replaced for sure because it's been out of the way and there's no straightening up because it's hardened steel, so you're not going to straighten it up with a hammer or a sledgehammer or nothing like that.
We know, he tried.
Yep. The other thing is that the damage is all in the J panel, which is the panel that comes down and curves under, and that's aluminum. That's real soft aluminum. Nothing above into the fiberglass. So that was a positive too. The other thing that just totally blew us away is if you look at the pictures and you see how close our sewer dump is to it, our black tank, if it would have got into that
the sewer.
If it had got into that sewer connection, it would have been a totally different situation because we'd have been opening up the bottom of the camper and find out how to fix that. So we're very blessed that we didn't get into that point.
Just missed it.
So the panel damage is on just the one slide and the little bit of panel damage in front. They're all replaceable panels. We're at the mercy of Forest River to see when that will happen. But
there's no damage to the slide.
No, the slide, everything works fine. The slide just kind of got touched. The pole kind of went past it and deep scratches and gouges in it. But
which he was trying to wipe off.
Yep. The undercarriage, I mean, like our jack leg and our suspension, we're just not sure about our MORryde suspension. Got the unit backed in. Our middle jack leg on the driver's side was bent at a 45-degree angle, and it was still operational. But I wanted to try to get it to where it was stable. We were able to run the jack down, at least stabilize the camper using our One Control app to get the back and the front somewhat level. It wasn't exactly perfect the first night, but it was pretty level. And then Bob being Bob, I had to unbolt that jack leg and I went down to the hardware store.
Stop fixing it before the claims guy comes here.
Yeah, well, there's no fixing it because the bracket is bent against the frame and there's no fixing. I can't straighten it back out.
Like this.
So I bought some extended bolts, some 4-inch bolts with some backup nuts, some 3/4-inch bolts, and I was able to get the jack leg pretty level. That's just to get the camper stable. Of course, our snap pad come off the bottom plate, the disc on the bottom, and I was able to bang it out pretty well flatter than it was at least.
We reported the claim at 1:30 on a Sunday. With Progressive, you have to do it in the app. So you answer all these questions, you fill it out, and then you attach pictures, which was difficult because the Wi-Fi in this campground is
crappy.
So we finally did get the picture sent, and they said they'd call you within 24 hours. So you guys know I'm pretty like hands-on. So the next morning, inside the app, there's a number you can call because it has your representative's name. So I call, or the claimed person's name. So I call and I leave a message and it says they'll call us in 24 hours. So she says in the message, you can email me. So I email her because we have some, kind of like general questions, Bob's wanting to know if he can.
I wanted to be able to source the wheel and the tire because I know that's two things that are hard to get, and these are Goodyear. They're good tires, G114s, and they're very expensive. And not that I was trying to save us any money on the insurance claim because it's going to be what it's going to be, but I was trying to get ahead of the game on the rim because I know this is a 2021 and a half. They may have changed the rim and I know 2022 and 3, the rims definitely changed from the 2021s. So I was just making sure that we could still find that rim available to us, not going to be able to be fixed because it was bent so bad, and I wouldn't have put it back on the camper either way. That's what we were trying to do, was to jump, you know, ahead of the line as far as that part of it.
And we wanted to get a timeline kind of put together of, you know, how is this all going to work, so we know in case we got to work on changing planning.
On anything that happens, whether it's a repair or damage, that you have to take the ball by the horns and take off with it, because they don't live in your world. You're living in your world. You have to make sure they live in your world. So sometimes you
travel in our world.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit more aggressive than you normally would, because we don't live in Rockport, Texas.
No.
So we were waiting for that phone call back, and then we finally called our broker on Monday, which told us, you know, they're probably closed because of the holiday. And then Tuesday we did get a call.
Yeah, said that pretty much they would send a person out to look over the vehicle, a claims person, and then they're just going to cut us a check. And then if additional money is needed, then, you know, then that will be cut also. So pretty much we're going to be paying for stuff and then getting reimbursed, and we have the right to take it anywhere we want.
Yep. So I want to talk a little bit about our insurance adjuster, our Progressive insurance adjuster. He come out
the next day after we got the call.
His name was Chris. Very nice fellow. We talked for probably half an hour, not about the accident or anything, but just in general. But he was very cordial. He listened to what I told him about what I thought was damaged, and he took it all into play, which was the jack leg, suspension possibly, the J panels, the tire, and the rim. That's what we talked about. What he's going to do, he's writing us an estimate. I was concerned because we normally go to MoreRide every year and we get our suspension checked.
And that's not till April.
And he said that would be fine as long as there's nothing bent or damaged, which I can't see anything bent or damaged from just eyeball. But until it gets an actual, you know, alignment machine to hook to it to find out if there's anything wrong. But he said the claim can stay open for 3 years. Yeah. Initially, what we're going to do is I got the jack in a somewhat upright position.
Yeah.
We're going to put the spare tire on it.
We're taking it to Ron Hoover. He's one of the really good dealers out there, but he happens to be a Forest River.
Yeah, they're a huge dealer here in Texas. Yeah. So we're taking it there tomorrow, which would be Friday, to get its initial assessment. They don't really do paint work, but they do the panels, and he said they can probably get the jack cut off and the new jack installed and stuff like that. But they do have a guy that does come in and do painting, so hopefully that'll all be done on their site, or if it has to be brought someplace else. And then initially, I guess they can assess the MoreRide suspension to make sure there's nothing physically wrong with it or we can't drive it down the road, because I'll be able to see if there's any kind of wobble or if it looks like it's sticking out or anything.
Bob had contacted the Goodyear dealer here to find out if they had a tire, and actually have a sale going on because our tires can usually be as much as $500, but it's on sale right now. Yeah,
these tires are 16 ply Goodyear tires, and they're normally like $516 a piece.
Yep.
And they got a sale going on right now where they're $384. We're trying to find the rim, the source of rim. First we call Forest River.
Yes.
We talked to E-Trailer, which they had a rim somewhat like it, but not quite the same.
Well, yeah, Riverstone recommended we contact E-Trailer because it would be cheaper than what it's going to be at
Forest River.
At Riverstone, yeah, Forest River, Riverstone.
They had a gunmetal gray one in 16-inch, which we're a 17.5. They did have a 17.5 from this manufacturer, but it's all silver. It's all polished aluminum without the gunmetal insert, which I didn't really want to do it, even though it was like $300 less than what the factory one was going to be.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's an insurance claim. You know, what's it going to do? What's $300 amongst friends? You know, what it's going to cost. So we go back to the dealer. We actually called.
They thought they had one in stock.
They thought they had one in stock, but being 2 models back now, they no longer had one in stock. And the company, we searched the company,
Lionheads, yep.
Rim and Tire. They're up in Goshen, Indiana, where they make these campers. And we talked to them, but they don't sell to the public. But she assured me that they had them on the shelf, even though our Riverstone guy told us it could be a month to get. So I don't know.
6 weeks.
I don't know what the the hang up is with sending a work order in and getting a rim sent out. But I don't.
He has to give it to, so he has to give it to his
purchasing
person who does the purchasing. Then they have to do it, which probably takes a day. Then they have to send it over there, and then it depended if they had it or didn't have it or had to order it. So they have it. So I think it would be really quick. I've sent an email to them today, just saying, we just kind of need to know, because that's what I'm super nervous about initially, is just the tire, because that's the one we know the most information on.
Yeah, the tire itself is already in stock. We're just making sure we can get the rim to match what we have on the camper.
Big thing we are of course going to run into is the supply chain issues.
COVID still lingers on, or lack of people wanting to work in this country. So that's a different video.
I mean, Ron Hoover said, that they can probably have everything fixed within a week at the most, if and when they get the material, which could be also 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah,
we won't know till tomorrow, and they try to order these panels to see if they're available.
Ron Hoover dealer said they have been waiting. They ordered an awning from Forest River Riverstone to replace on a camper, and they've been waiting for that since July of last year.
Yeah, so it's this supply chain thing is just crazy.
So you're going to go on this journey with us, guys. So we're at Ron Hoover. Bob has gone inside to let him know we're here, and we've got the spare tire on, but it is towed out. Like, we stopped to make sure that it wasn't running too hot, but we shall see what today brings.
Well, I went in there, and he said, "Can I help you?" And he said his name was, and I remember I said, "That's who I talked to you."
Yeah.
And then I told him, I said, "We're here for an insurance assessment." He's like, he goes, "I don't know if I talked to you." And I said, "You talked to me because you told me about the panels, you told me about the paint.
Yeah.
You told me all about this." And then he got quiet because he knew that he had talked to him. He goes, "Can you leave it till Monday?" And I said, "No." I said, "We live in it. I told you we were full-timers." He's stressing because he don't have anybody to move the campers around, I guess. But I said, "We can't leave it till Monday. We're here. You said it was going to be 2 hours. We were going to leave it here for a couple hours to get it looked at and a price."
Your paperwork, you bring the claim number in with you, and I can get that on the ticket, and then I'll probably just have you drop it right here.
Okay.
So that's not going so well.
Give a quote, and then he's going to get quotes on the panels, and then they're going to look at the suspension and everything, and then maybe even try to find the rim for us too. Right now at Ron Hoover here in Rockport, Texas.
And our recommendation is always kill everyone with kindness, because it gets them to smile and laugh.
Yep.
And helps them breathe and lighten up also.
Yeah, because there's just not enough smiling people in this country where people are stressed. I mean, the country is, there's so much of the workforce that's just sitting at home and not doing anything. And
sitting on their thumb.
There's so many great jobs. I mean, guys that work with their hands. I mean, plumbers, electricians, body men. I mean, a technician, RV repairman. I mean, my gosh, great paying jobs. He's got 3 techs, so he probably needs 3 more. But well, this is our update up to now. This is all we know at this point. You're up to date, and as soon as we find out something from the dealer or from Ron Hoover on a timeline, and we'll give you guys another update and let you know
what's going on. So like, subscribe, plus hit the notification bell so you can stay in tune with our Bob wrecked our home videos.
Yeah, and you can give us comments on this one.
Yeah. So lastly, remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world.
Bye.